Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Marwell Manor. It's a quiet day for us today. We don't really have a lot of work that needs to be done on our farm. We're kind of just killing time a little bit really until things actually start happening a little bit more. We're waiting for our silage bales to ferment before we can sort of do something with those. We're also waiting for our crops to grow. We can't do any harvesting until those are done either. So we're kind of at a dead end at the moment. We're stuck in limbo until something happens to either our crops or our bales. It's going to be the bales first. Tomorrow we'll be able to start working on those. And I don't think any of our crops are going to be ready for harvest until another few days. So we're going to be doing a little bit of work in the community today. We're going to be off doing some delivery jobs for people. First up, we've had a call from a couple of different places asking for a little bit of help delivering stuff. First off is the stables. The stables have got a couple of pallets of boxes that need to be delivered out towards the animal market, and they've asked us to deliver those for us. So we'll be making our way over to the stables first of all. Also had a request from the scrapyard inside the BGA to deliver some spare parts over to the sawmill. One of the machines at the sawmill broke down recently, and there are some spare parts waiting for collection at the sawmill, which will be able to fix those issues. So we're going to do those two different jobs, get those boxes delivered, and then hopefully we'll be able to get involved in a local harvest a little bit later as well. Get to know our sort of our neighbouring farmers a little bit better. Get involved in the work, help out, raise our profile within the local farming community, and maybe make a little bit of extra cash out of that as well. So we're going to make our way over to the stables first of all. Touch wood, everything will be fine. We had some very strange experiences last time we were there. Some very, very damaged goods that we were unable to deliver. They were obviously eventually shipped back to where they came from, and apparently some more have been ordered. We may well have another attempt at delivering over to the Hollisters at some point in the future. We'll see how that goes. But for now, as I say, we're off to the stables. It's a little bit of a drive, so I will see you when we get there. So here we are then, arriving at the stables. So fingers crossed, everything here is going to be nice and easy for us to work with. There we go. Just roll into position. Let's get the gate opened so we can obviously get in there. And there we go. There's our two boxes, or two pallets of boxes that are waiting to be delivered. Now, ideally, I would again like to have a trailer that we could load these onto and strap them down to, but we just don't have one, and we can't afford to lease one or even buy one, so we're going to have to carry both of these at the same time on our forks. Push them closer together so that we can actually hook up to those. And this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. I've got to try and grab both of these pallets at the same time. And if I'm slightly off, I'm just going to push these pallets apart. So very careful. There we go. Let's get those lifted up. And now we're going to have to be very careful delivering these. I mean, we haven't got far to go, just to the spinnery, which is just a little bit down the road. there are some there's an animal dealership there, which is where these pallets are really aiming, heading for. But we're dropping them off outside the spinnery because there is nobody available at the animal market until a little bit later today, around 10 o'clock. The person these are for will be arriving, so they'll be held off at the spinnery until that person gets to work. You can see it's made us a little bit wide at the front, so we're going to have to be careful as we drive down the road here. Make sure we don't clip any signs on the left hand side or any oncoming traffic on our right hand side that could damage the products that we're trying to deliver, or just basically cause issues. So have to be very, very careful. No traffic coming. There we go, indicator off. Let's just hug the inside of the road a little bit here. I would have beacons on if I had them on this particular vehicle, but our 6M, no beacons. It's just a touch frustrating at times. And here's our turn off. So a very short distance to run, but obviously without any form of transport, from the stables to here, it's quite tricky actually to get these crates and boxes moved. So that's why we were asked if we could do this. And of course we said yes. We're trying to raise our standing in the local community. We're still quite new here, so the more we can do to help out, the better. And if we make a few quid in the process, then we can't really say no to that, can we? There we go. So we'll get these unloaded. We'll just go and notify somebody that we've arrived. We'll get those taken off our pallets, off our pallet forks, and we'll then go and collect the next item to be delivered. There we go. We made a little bit of cash in the process there. Very nice. So our next job is literally right around the corner. There are spare parts here at the scrapyard here, waiting to be delivered out towards the sawmill. As I say, one of their machines did break down. These parts here will help to get that plant back up to full operational capacity. Let's try and get lined up if we can. Don't think my forks are straight, are they? No, they're not. There we go. I have no idea if we've actually hooked in here. No, we haven't. Try and do these things in first person sometimes, but it's so hard when you physically cannot see what you're doing. There we go. So, our spare parts have been collected. We're off to the sawmill. And hopefully we'll make someone very, very happy with this delivery. Not quite so wide on the front now. We've only got the one pallet. A bit more of a distance to travel as well, so... Cement mixer coming that way. Are we clear? Oh, and something else coming as well. We look clear. Yeah, we're going to go for it. There we go, and we'll kind of match the speed here in the village. So we'll make our way off towards the sawmill, and I will see you when we get there. just coming up to our turn off just here. Indicators on. So we move into Thompson's Lane here. This is our route out towards the zoo. The woods are up here as well. Just here on the left, and then just past that on the right is the sawmill. I think someone's abandoned that car. Every time we've come past here, it's been there. I wonder if someone's just abandoned it in a lay-by. Here we go. Here's our arrival point at the sawmill. So once again, we're going to have to pop into the office to confirm delivery. Let's see. There's a drop-off point just over there. Yep, we have got them off the forks. Good. In fact, actually, what we want to do is make our forks safe for road travel again. There we go. So let's find the office. See if we can find someone we can speak to. It might be this building here, actually. And we'll confirm delivery of those parts. Let's just turn our engine off. I'll see you in a second. Alright, there we go. Another successful little delivery done. It makes a change when you can actually pick up the pallets, doesn't it? Ah dear, what a strange bug that was. Speaking of bugs, we have news on the state of the map. Now, obviously for PC players, one of the things that Oxygendavid did almost immediately was to release a link on his Facebook page to a quick fix for the map, to fix certain issues that were there for people who didn't want to have to wait for the official update on the Giants mod hub. Obviously that was only for PC players, and only a few people, well, I say only a few, some people will have used that, other people will be waiting for the official update on the Giants mod hub. Well, that has now been submitted, and I have a full list, a full changelog of all those changes that are coming as well, which we'll go through in just a second. So we'll make our way back to the farm first of all. We have been asked to get involved in a potato harvest on one of the neighbouring fields near the store, actually. I've said yes, we'll quite happily get involved and help out. The farmer has supplied the potato harvester for that. We are going to be providing sort of the transport relief on that with our John Deere 7R and with our tipper trailer that we have as well. Gives us a chance to actually use our tipper for the first time, because we haven't used it yet. So we need to drop the 6M back at the farm, switch over. We need to transfer the weight from this vehicle over to the 7R as well, just so we've got a bit of extra counterbalance at the front, because you know, a 40,000 litre trailer when fully loaded is probably going to be quite heavy and potentially lift our front wheels off the ground a little bit. So that'll help give us a bit more counterbalance, and we'll get involved with that a little bit later on. We'll be looking to start that in a couple of hours, and that'll probably be our main sort of focus on what we do today, is just helping out with that field and getting that done. So let's see, I want to drop off the forks first of all. Not going to need these for another day or so now, until we're ready to do those silage bales. I'd kind of like to maybe get a different bale attachment. We'll have to see. Oops. Drop the whole fork attachment off. There we go. That's the arms off as well. make our way back around towards the shed, and we'll drop the weight off. Which way's the trailer facing there? I'm going to drop the weight off just here, actually. There we go. And then we'll hook up to the weight as we approach to connect up to the trailer. And we'll drop this back in storage and switch over to the 7R. There we go. Job is done. So, as I say, we'll jump into the 7R in a moment. We'll get ourselves sort of prepped and over. But before we do that, I want to go through the changelog that we have for the map and the post that Oxygendavid put out a little earlier today. So, Marwell Manor 1.1 has been sent to Giants for testing on PC and console. So we'll just have to wait now. The full changelog is as required, and crucially, no new save file will be required. So version 1.1 will fix the triggers for the milk and egg sell points. So obviously the dairy that we haven't been able to use yet, we will be able to use going forward. Also, there's been a problem with the egg sell point at Marwell Manor. I'm not sure about if there's another egg sell point or not, but that should be fixed as well. The huge land in between fields and outer areas, which costs 17 and a bit million, is now going to be free. Lights on windows, street lamps, placeables, etc. will now come on at 7:30 in the evening as opposed to 9:30 in the evening. The sheep wool trigger will be improved. As before, we've only been able to get 2 pallets spawn in there, and then the trigger is full, so that will be fixed to allow the full 6 as normal, or should be 6. Bale straw point and workshop trigger improved for taller equipment. So if you've been looking to get something quite tall into your workshop here at the farm and not been able to, that'll be resolved for you. Reset point now put at the main farm. So instead of stuff resetting to the store, it'll now reset here to the yard, which is quite interesting. Collision on butterflies has been removed. So if you have been driving along that little back road and got to the bridge and then your tractor has suddenly been flipped all over the place because you've hit a butterfly, won't be an issue anymore. There'll be no collisions on that. You'll be able to go through, and this time it'll be the butterfly that comes worse off than you. The BGA clamp will be removed so you can place your own. Now this obviously is going to have a direct impact on us because we were looking to rent one. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. The fence around the pigs, that's been fixed. Lights have been added to both yards inside and out, so not just this farm but also the farm with the pigs and the chickens will have working lights outside and inside some of the buildings as well, which is great because it does get really dark on this farm. There's a specific error for PC users, data/maps/mapus/EMV maps. Those errors in the log are now fixed on PC. A bit more detail has been added around the farms. That'll be interesting to see what detail's been added, and also if that's going to affect our slot count, because this is already quite a detailed map and we're using very, very detailed John Deere equipment, so that could potentially cause us a few issues. We'll have to see. What else? Grass will now bend, because the grass hasn't conformed at all in any way to the crop destruction, and that's part of the patch from Giants a while ago. So what's the word I'm looking for? Crop destruction on grass was taken out very early on, but grass was supposed to bend down and then drop, pop back up again when you drive over it. It hasn't done that on this map, but it will do going forward. Cow manure pit fixed with a new bunker model. So if you do have any chaff or silage in that bunker, you probably want to clear that out before you update the map. Otherwise, you could lose what's in there. BGA land is already owned on startup to stop issues with Southview silage. The Southview silage bunker not saving its chaff. So I'm not sure whether that means if you already own it. I don't know if that's going to cause any issues if you don't own it, whether you automatically own it now or if it's only when you start a new file. We'll have to see. But I'm guessing it's just as soon as you load up, you automatically own the BGA. That's going to save us 11.5 grand. That's a bonus. Of course, we are going to have to buy a clamp by the sound of it. Tweaked the cow triggers, added a sell manure point at Rainbow Stores, added more grass contract fields, and tweaked the BGA bale point and prices. So quite a lot of changes there, 19 different changes to the map. And at the end of that, Dave has also written, with this update, I wanted to make sure it was save game friendly, so all other issues or improvements will be added to a Marwell extended, brackets, if there is one. Thank you all again for your support and feedback. So, that's the full change list. A lot of changes coming to the map. A lot of things that are going to indirectly and directly affect quite a few players. As I say, the biggest one of those is the bunker here at the farm is going to be replaced with a brand new model. So I would say if you have stuff in there already, you want to get that emptied out quick smart before you load up or before you update the map, because otherwise you're probably going to lose whatever was in there. Right, that's the weight attached. And here is our Cramper Bandit. And we are off to go and help out with that potato harvest, which is just around the corner. We'll be using the little cut-through road on the way to the store, because that's where the field is. So obviously we have permission to drive on that land this time. You can see our crops coming along quite nicely, getting that nice sea of yellow as our canola grows in here on field 15. Looking very, very nice there, look. So we're not too far away from our own crops starting to come in, which means some very, very busy days ahead of us, but hopefully some very profitable days as well. And speaking of killer butterflies, are we going to be safe as we try and go across the bridge? Yes, I think we are. So this is the field that we're going to be working. We're going to be cleaning out those potatoes here. There's the harvester all parked up and ready, and we're going to be unloading them into our 7R and our Bandit trailer. There we go. So let's jump into our potato harvester. Get that fired up. Get everything unfolded. And off we go, harvesting potatoes. This is going to be quite a labour-intensive job for us to carry out here, but it'll, as I say, it'll raise our standing quite nicely in the local community. It also encourages us with the hope that other farmers will return the favour and come help us out with our own harvest if we need it. Just adjusting the height of the belt there so that we can unload. I'm trying to partition the field off a little bit to make it easier for us to work. You can see it's quite an awkward shape, so it is going to be a little bit trickier. See those really skinny front wheels. Just kind of sitting quite nicely in the grooves there. So there's going to be, to get started, there's going to be quite a bit of sort of reversing and backing around to try and get lined up in position until we can actually clean these edges up a little bit more efficiently, and then we can actually work this field a lot smoother and a lot faster. So a little bit of fiddliness to get us started, and once we're kind of in position and we've got space to turn around at either side of the field, then we'll be able to sort of really crack on and make some good time on this field, I hope. That's the plan. I can see why we were asked to come and do this, because this is a very, as I say, going to be a very long labour intensive job. We'll get a nice little payout for this. Won't be huge, but it'll certainly be enough to put us back into the black, give us a nice healthy-ish looking bank balance. This is where it's going to be tricky, trying to turn around. Just about got space. There we go. So we'll clean out this little top piece here first of all. There we go. And then we'll do the same at the bottom end, as I've already put a pass down there. We'll need to do another couple of passes to clean that edge off there. And then we'll probably run across the field this way, I think. The direction that we're going now, side to side, I think it's going to be the best way for us to approach this field. So I'll crack on with this, and once I've made a bit more progress, we'll check in and have another update. Okay, so we have now got the field to a nice sort of clean shape for us to work. We've got borders on each side for turning room, which is good. This is what we've been trying to achieve. It's taken us a little while to get to this point, a couple of hours, I think. And our trailer over there is nearly full. I think one more round and we'll be pretty much full on the trailer, or just a fraction short of its full capacity. So there you can see we've got that nice clean edge over there. I'm going to try and split the field in half a little bit now as well, so we haven't got quite so long to run between passes. There we go, we can try and work in strips now. So we'll work this path here, and then we'll turn right again, and then when we come back we'll be on the left hand side of where we are now, and we'll just keep staggering our way down the field like that. So our turnaround time at each end of the field should hopefully stay about the same, and the distance that we have to travel should stay about the same as well, as we slowly sort of stagger our way down the field in sections. Oops, I think we are full. We are. So let's go and unload into our trailer. I think we're ready to make our first unload delivery. Make sure the arm is up. Pull up alongside. We'll reposition where our trailer is next time out as well, I think. There we go, you can see the potatoes unloading into our trailer. Just turn the engine off because I think, as I say, we're about ready. Yes, about ready for our first delivery. So we need to deliver these to Rainbow Ridge stores a little bit down the road. That's our designated drop-off point over there, so let's get onto the road and get ready to go delivering. Of course we've got traffic. We'll need to change our cruise control speed. There we go. And let's get our beacons on as well. There we go. Right, off to Rainbow Ridge. Just see Rainbow Ridge stores coming up here on the left hand side. Got our indicators on, we'll turn in just here. There we go. And I have to say, the 7R, despite having 38,000 plus litres of potatoes in the back of this heavy trailer, has performed beautifully. Has behaved beautifully as well. There's been no light steering at the front. You know, I'm sure that weight that we have attached is probably helping, but it's all been going very, very smoothly so far. There goes the lid. We are nearly halfway through the job, it would seem. Still got a little bit more work to do yet, though. A fair bit more harvesting. Another trailer full of product or two to bring up as well. Just edge our way out through this quite tight gate at an angle. There we go. Make our way back down to the road, and we'll head back down to the field and continue working on harvesting those potatoes. Another trailer load ready. Oops. Need to raise the arm a little bit more. There we go. Making really good progress on the field. We've missed a couple of little tufts here and there, but we'll tidy the field up as we get to the end of it. There we go. So let's crack on. You can see that we've done way more than half the field now, and this is the kind of split that we've been working with, keeping that gap nice and constant, so we have a pretty steady, pretty consistent turn radius each time. Oops. Gets us back on the field pretty quickly each time as well. So we'll carry on doing this. We'll carry on working away with the spuds. Not too much more to do now. That is the main chunk, and there's only a couple of passes left on that one. We might have to look at maybe doing another split or just working that piece on its own. We'll see. We might just work on it on this piece on its own. No need to really split it. It's not that big a piece anymore, so we could just go from end to end, and obviously get a narrower width every time we go up and down the field. But like I said, it doesn't really seem worth splitting in half. There doesn't seem to be too much left. So again, we'll swing around, we'll get in position. Just little bits that we've been kind of leaving on the edges of the turns, and we'll tidy those up when we're done. But yeah, it's all going very, very well. It's a slow progress job because it's a slow piece of equipment. It doesn't hold a lot. So we have to unload it reasonably frequently as well, which is a bit of a drag, a bit of a pain, but it's a really good cabin to sit in. We get really good visibility. We can see exactly where we're working. And, you know, I actually really do enjoy doing these potatoes in first person like this with light. I mean, without the light it would be a different matter. If it was darker, then it would be a lot harder to do this job. Just, you know, visibility would be poor, but with it being nice and bright like this, I mean, we're what, 2:30 in the afternoon. It's going to take us another couple of hours at least to get this job finished, I think, to get the rest of the potatoes off the field, but we're making pretty good progress. We'll be done by 5-ish, I think, so we'll still have some light left. It'll start to get a little bit darker. But I'm hoping we're going to get quite a nice little payoff for doing this, because it is quite labour intensive. So this is the final pass of this thin strip that we have up here. So all we've got left now is just that section. Of course, we've done another few passes on that section while we've been kind of getting rid of the last bit here. So we're down to what is essentially not that big a piece left at all. There's certainly no scope or point in splitting that section up. We'll just keep going end to end, I suppose, is going to be the easiest way for us to do this. So that's that piece done. That's all that's left. Look, you see, it's pretty narrow. So there's probably, well, let's see, half a dozen passes. Well, maybe a bit more than half a dozen, but yeah, maybe half a dozen passes to get this done. We're still going to need to do another unload into the trailer. That's for sure. We've only got a little over 3,000 litres of space left in the back of the hopper here. But yeah, we're on the home stretch of this field now. Not too much left to do. You see the topper bouncing around a little bit there as we're cutting these spuds. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple of little tufts that we will need to tidy up afterwards. But that'll only take us a couple of minutes to do. So the main bulk of the fields is now pretty much, there's a couple of spuds just there as well. Look, we'll probably make sure that we tag when we're just cleaning up the edge, the leftover bits on the field. Getting a little tight over here as well in terms of our turning area. We can't just do a smooth turn anymore. We're going to have to kind of do a little reversing lineup, I think. Just getting quite close to that hedge line behind us. It's going to be a bit more awkward to get the full 5 rows through our header, so we'll just probably stick with doing 4, keeping it nice and safe in that respect, so we're not leaving strips. So I'll carry on with this. I'll keep on keeping on, and I'll check in with you in just a moment. In fact, actually, we're about to do another run load, aren't we? Almost finished. Will we get to the end of the row? It's going to be close, isn't it? Look at that. There we go. Augers on this side, isn't it? Let's raise that up. Our 7R looking a little lonesome over here now. Oops, just clipped the wheel there. There we go. Get those potatoes flowing into our trailer. Trailer's got to be getting close to being full as well. There we go. So yeah, not much left to go now. I'll carry on with this, and I'll catch up with you when we're just about finished, I think. And here we are then, pretty much finished. Just this thin couple of rows left after we've done this pass, so almost done. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it all in. I'm not. I'm going to have to unload right here. It's going to be right at the very edge of the field. Is there actually a strip that we missed as part of that? Let me have a look. No, I think we actually managed to get everything on that strip, on that run. That's worked out quite well. So I'm actually going to bring the John Deere over to us this time. It's going to be easier, I think. So we'll just get this lined up. There we go. Just quickly nip across the field, grab the 7R. This gives us a chance as well to just see what kind of level of fill we have in the trailer, because honestly, I don't know. It's got to be getting close to being full. Oh, it is full. Okay. In that case, we'll have to go and deliver this. Then come back, grab that last little bit, and we'll be taking probably about 12,000 litres left over to the store once we're done. So yeah, okay, another drive over to Rainbow Ridge, to drop off what we've got. Of course we get stuck behind a cement truck, don't we? I could have risked pulling out, but yeah, that's just asking for an accident. So we'll just have to follow behind this guy. Have keep our speed and gap controlled, and as I say, we'll drop these potatoes off. We'll go back. We'll get the last 12,000 or so litres that'll need to be delivered. Take those over to Rainbow Ridge, and then find out how much we're actually going to get paid for this job. Alright, back on the field for the final empty of the combine. It's just a couple of spuds there we'll have to grab as well, but we've pretty much picked this field clean. There we go. Spuds going into the back of the trailer. Very nice. Just get ourselves out of that little situation in the corner there. Bring the trailer back round, and I tell you what, this trailer has been really, really good for us in terms of how well it's performed. It makes it very easy for us to transport a lot of crop with a trailer of just under 40,000. It's not that big. In terms of its sort of length, the wheelbase is quite small because it's only a double axle at the back. It's performed really, really well for us, that trailer. And we could have got a longer trailer with a smaller capacity that just would have meant more frequent trips and would have been probably a little bit more awkward on the turns as well. With that long has been absolutely brilliant. I think we made the right choice with that particular trailer, and we're going to need to have a decent sized trailer, not just for obviously taking grain off fields, but for when it comes to our deliveries as well. The smaller the trailer, the more trips we have to make, the more chance that the price might fluctuate. Yeah, with a bigger trailer, it's fewer trips to a sell point, which means there's more chance of keeping the price stable before it dips, and we can get more product through at a very, very attractive price. So yeah, very, very pleased with the performance of our trailer hooked up to that 7R. Like I said, I was worried that we might struggle a little bit with the front wheels being lifted off the ground, but there's been no such issues whatsoever. It's been pretty much a flawless performance. That really bodes well for when we're transporting our own stuff. So there we go. We are finished with the harvest. Let's get the last of these potatoes delivered. Just misjudged the perception of depth there. There we go. And we've been told just to park this up on the field as well, and that the farmer will come and collect this a little later. So we'll get this folded up, and we'll park it pretty much where we found it, just here. Everything all folded up, looks like it. Engine off. There we go. Nice little bit of kit. Just a shame it only holds 9,500 litres before it fills up. Why it has such a small capacity, I still don't know. It is frustrating, but nothing we can do about that. So let's go deliver the last of these potatoes, and then we'll get our payment wired to us. And here we are back at Rainbow for one last time. Drop off the final part of the field. There we go. And with our payment as well, which we are due to get, we're probably looking at around about a balance of just under 9,000, I think, maybe. Or a little less than that, so there we go. We're at just under 7,500, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all, and that does allow me to maybe buy a set of proper bale spikes, or at the very least to lease something to make our bale moving a little bit easier. So not a bad day's work. You know, it took us till just after 5. As I said, we should be done by around about 5 o'clock. And that's what time we got done. So I feel quite pleased in that kind of estimate of the time. We've helped out the locals a little bit. We've done a couple of delivery missions. We've obviously helped out quite a lot with the harvest. And that's really going to raise our stock here in the community. It's going to make things a lot easier for us if we need help. You know, I think we'll definitely be able to get quite a few different people sort of volunteering their services now. So let's make our way back to the farm, get everything cleaned, put away. We're pretty much done for the day. Tomorrow we're going to be taking the bales off the field and getting those shipped down to sell, and obviously we're going to be storing some of those silage bales as well. Who knows, we might even get a little bit more crop growth overnight. We'll have to see how that goes. Maybe we might do another couple of quick delivery jobs for people as well if they have stuff that needs to be delivered. So we've got a few things that we can get done tomorrow, maybe possibly make some decent cash, and we're getting ever closer to our first harvest as well, which is where we're going to be looking to make our real kind of money with our huge oat field just there, our canola field over there, and of course a little bit further behind in terms of growth our soybean over there, and we'll probably end up doing a second mowing cut at some point as well, maybe between harvests. So plenty of potential to earn money still throughout the rest of the year, yet to come. But as for me, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Marwell Manor very soon.